And good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner here on the Highliner Activity Network on this Thursday morning, halfway through the month of April. Well, Speech wrapped up their state competition here last week in Jamestown. Highliners taking third as a team and had 3 state champs all totaled and a number of people placing. And now Nationals are right around the corner. We're joined by Carter Haas and Abby Wilmus. Guys, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good.
Pretty good? Just pretty good?
Yeah.
Well, Carter, we'll start with you. I think, if memory serves, back-to-back years runner-up in radio broadcasting, and this year you tie with teammate Ada Gilbertson. Take us through the competition and how things went here for you.
Yeah, so in 9th grade and 10th grade, I was state runner-up for radio, so that was pretty, fun. But I was like, junior year, I have to lock in because it's our last year in Class A. And me and Ada had been doing pretty good throughout this season, as well as Abby's sister Alyssa, and in radio specifically. And we go in. Some of my rounds are weird, and really the packets that you got to cut down, they were just very difficult. So it all came down to who could cut the packets down as best they could, have enough time to recite it, and get it ready to go for a 3-minute thing, and then give your commentary. So because the packets were tough, it all came down to the years of experience that you have, and me and Ada just came out on top and had a really good day, and it was a lot of fun.
But you both considered first place, though, right?
Yes, it's 2 individual state champions, which really helped our team points as well.
Well, exactly. And team points, again, I think 48.5 is off the top of my head, finishing third. And that was going to be a question I was going to ask you guys. What, only 11 or 12 is what you
11.
took to 11 that you take to state, and you take third. How big of an accomplishment is that to take us less than a dozen kids and still get third?
That's a huge accomplishment when you look at it. We were not expecting that at all, to be straightforward. We're not expecting to hear our name get called for third place. That's a huge accomplishment because when you really think about it, we did beat out West Fargo Packers and a lot of those Fargo schools. So when you really look at the other competition, it shows how much everyone showed up that day.
And West Fargo Horse won it again. That's 2 years in a row for them because now they're becoming the dynasty after the Highliners had 6 in a row, and now they're doing it. And I think Cheyenne was second, and then the Highliners placing third. Now, Abby, how did you feel you did at the state competition?
I did pretty good. Impromptu is really, really crazy hard. I think I've gone against the same kids since I was a 7th grader. But I think I did pretty good. There was one round in particular that was not my favorite. So I wasn't expecting really a place after that round was done.
And I think in your second one, you got 5th place.
Yeah, in extemp.
In extemp. Did you feel you could have done a little bit better?
Yeah, I didn't practice extemp as much. I was more locked in on radio the week before. But like Abby says, those impromptu quotes are tough, and then in extemp, the questions, they're always tough throughout the season. And she's right, there's a lot of competition in those public speaking, but it was a good way to end off that season. I'm happy with what I got.
Right. And our other state champ, Leah Hochhalter, also was a state champ for Valley City. And it's just saying state champ, whether it's whoever it is, you guys got to feel proud that you're part of a team that has state champs.
Yeah, I mean, for us to go into state and like Abby said, it's only 11 kids, and we could have had a few more of our state qualifiers, but sadly some of them weren't able to make it. I mean, even with just that team, we had to have a perfect day for that to happen.
Right.
And it really just proves that it's nice to be state champs. It's nice to have such a strong program, and it proves that when we come in, we can be dangerous still. So it's a good feeling to have that placement.
Well, after state, we had the national qualifiers Monday and Tuesday, if memory serves.
Yep.
And Abby, you're going to nationals, kind of a different way, going with Team North Dakota. Kind of explain your participation in nationals.
So I'm going in World Schools Debate, which is basically where your coach nominates you for a style of debate that isn't usually performed in there, and then a selection of different judges and coaches throughout the state pick you, watch your speeches, which can be a little scary, but they watch some stuff that you do and talk to judges and really look at your ranks and how you did throughout the season, and then they pick, I believe, 10 kids out of the state.
Okay. How did you find out?
Well, they just announced it at an awards ceremony, but I've gone it 2 other years, so then my coach for that, she's so nice, she's taught me a lot, and so she kind of a little bit insinuated it throughout the Tuesday that you might be happy by the end of the day. So
So just be ready.
Yeah.
Just be ready. And Carter, you qualified again for nationals as well. And so tell us a little bit about your preparations. You get ready now for your trip to Des Moines in June.
Yeah, so for us, we'll sit with our coach Sean Thurston and go over supplemental events, which happens if you go in your main event and don't break to the next round. So we'll kind of get ready for those. They're just as much as big as main events. They just, for those kids that didn't break or kids that just want to go to Nats in those. And I qualified in Congress, so that means I do have to work on a lot of legislation come April 30th when it all comes out and vote on it. And then May 25th, something around that timeline, is when the legislation actually comes out. It's all voted on. So it's just going to be a lot of work of preparing arguments, having mock debates, and then maybe getting some tips from Abby, who's been in world schools for quite a bit of time now. So.
It's good to get pointers.
Yes.
It's good to get. And Leah Holcoulter also, she qualified for nationals. So the three of you are going to be heading down to Des Moines, and that's what, first week in June, second week in June. Do you know?
I believe it's the second week of June.
Okay, so it
15th
is
to the 20th.
Okay, so after graduation and after well, not for you two, but after
Yeah.
school's out and everything's done, then you get ready, head down to Des Moines, because I know we'll probably hit you up again one more time when you get ready for going to nationals and kind of get where you're at and what as in your part, Abby, as far as this team North Dakota. What do you guys do? Kind of give us a run through what they do at nationals. Your group with the group, obviously.
Okay, like the World Schools group?
Yeah.
What we do is really, obviously, none of us have debated with each other. So it's really leading up to it, and I guess even there, is just like building a connection with your team and like growing together. And then obviously we practice with Team South Dakota and Team Minnesota at our hotel and practice some of the resolutions and stuff that'll come out. And so that's what we usually do just to get our bearings, because we hadn't debated them much together.
Right. So you will have a day or so to kind of get to know each other and practice.
Yeah, we do a retreat in May, late May or early June, and that will be like our first time to get to really know each other.
Sure.
A lot of us already do, but just to actually figure out how we each debate and what our styles are, and then we'll have a day at nationals where we can at night practice with different teams from out of state.
And with Team North Dakota, I'm sure it's Class A and Class B. It's from both classes.
Yeah, it's a mixture.
It's a girl. How many kids do you know offhand? So putting you on the spot here, but
probably I would say over 30.
Okay.
For all events?
Yeah. Well, in for the Team North Dakota, roughly.
Yeah, I would say about 30.
Yeah. House this year in Nat Quals for Congress they actually had 6 national qualifiers, and they usually have 4 because so many kids did it. So this year it's going to be a pretty big number. I think it's going to be well over 50.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a big number because it's all anybody who's an NSDA school. So big Team North Dakota and speech, debate, and Congress will have their national qualifying tournaments.
And this used to be called Forensics, right?
Yeah, National Forensics League, but now it's National Speech and Debate Association.
NSDA.
Yes.
Well, that's the organization, actually.
Yeah.
And that's down in Des Moines, Iowa, coming up second week in June. And we'll have 3 Highlanders that'll be heading down. So, again, might have to chat with you right before you guys head out and see where you're at and see if you're ready to go and what your experiences are going to be. But, again, congratulations on a great speech season. Again, 3rd place at state with the Fab 11 or the Dirty Dozen, whatever you want to call you guys.
Dirty Dozen, yeah.
And how many seniors? I know Ada's a senior. I mean, you don't have a lot of seniors on this team, do you?
2.
Just the 2.
Yes.
And Leah and
Ada, pardon me.
Leah's really good at interpretation events, and for her to go into HI, go to NSDA and qualify, I think that really meant a lot to her because she's a senior. She really wanted that, and that really that was kind of the kickoff to the end of her season. But you could tell that she was just excited to do that, and we're really going to lose 2 really competitive people. But I think we're going to go to Class B. We're going to have a lot of fun. We took 3rd, and we're going to cook up some competition next year.
I bet some of the Class A schools are oh, good, Valley City's gone. We don't have to worry about Valley City anymore. It's their problem now.
We'll maybe go to a Fargo tournament or 2.
Well, yeah, you still got to show them what we can do. I mean,
of course.
Exactly. Still push them around a little bit. Guys, I appreciate it again. Congratulations on a great season. Good luck at Nationals, and we'll talk again. We've got Carter Haas and Abby Wilmans joining us. We'll be back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. And back here on Coach's Corner on the Highliner Activity Network, and now delving into the world of track and field, joined by a couple of Highliner runners. We've got Jake Anderson, Derek Shape joining us, senior and junior. Gentlemen, is this too early for you? Sorry, you're already at
Not
school
too
by
bad.
now.
All good.
Well, not too bad. Not too bad. Let's first talk about the indoor season before we get to the first outdoor meet. And Jake, I'll start with you. Just indoor season. How'd you feel things went for you during an indoor?
I think it was good getting ready experience for the outdoor season, because that's what really matters. Like indoor matters,
Right.
but it just helps you get ready for the outdoor season, so because that's when you can qualify for state and everything.
And is that your kind of mindset too, Derek? Is this kind of the preseason when you get your indoor?
Yep, try to get ready and get everything figured out for outdoor season, get relay stuff figured out, and it's a good workout before we get outside for the real test.
And then maybe, with relays, getting the handoffs. I mean, yeah, you can practice all you want, but when you got other people on the track working on that handoff, because that baton is not easy to hand off, that's for sure. The look on your face like, yeah, that's not easy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now let's get into our outdoor season. We were at West Fargo Cheyenne here on Friday. I guess question number one, how fun was it just finally get outside and compete?
It was really nice. I like outdoor season a lot more than indoor, obviously, because outdoors just better.
Right.
But the wind that day wasn't favorable, but it was still nice to get outside for the first time.
And Derek, how about you? You can practice a little bit outside, but the competition is what it's all about, isn't it?
Yep, especially when you can get the relays and you actually are against more of the teams that we're going to be playing at state or running at state, and better competition that way.
And speaking of which, 4x1 qualified for state, and I'm going to try to do it without looking. You,
Yep.
and you, and I believe is Jaden in there?
Yep.
Jaden
Yep.
Sewer, and is Isaac Norby?
Yep.
Yes.
Wow, look at that. I did it all by memory, not bad. But how'd you feel? Obviously, you did well enough to qualify for state. Did you feel you could have gone a little bit better, Derek, or no?
Yeah, I think we all could have done with the headwind we had, and then not much practice with 4x1 handouts. We've been doing 4x2 inside, so I think we can get the time quite a bit better.
But it being the first meet of the year, obviously, now you know where your level is.
Yep.
So now the bar has been set, right, Jake?
It's nice that's a good qualified right off the bat. Now we can just keep getting better, perfect our handoffs. We didn't have, Isaac wasn't there the day before. We didn't get to practice handoffs with him until day of.
Right.
So having time to practice at actual practice will be nice to help shave our time down.
And I think Isaac is a dual sporter. He plays baseball as well as runs track. And so now, Derek, let's start with the sprints too. That's your area of expertise. What is your goals now this year as far as your sprints?
I would like to get the other 4x2 qualified, and then hopefully the 1 and 2.
Okay.
And then maybe we might work on a 4x4 if we get all that qualified.
Is that something have you done it before, or is it something you pretty new?
I ran it one time last year,
And?
it was rough. I didn't train for it, so
Right.
yep. Maybe we'll have to actually work towards it this year.
Okay. Jake, how about you?
I am hoping, I'm with Derek, we want to try to get the 4x2 qualified. But for me, I want to try to break 24 in the 200 and break 11 or 12 in the 100.
In the 100?
That's
How close are you? Yeah,
Pretty close.
Getting there.
I should be able to do it.
Should be able to do it.
Yeah.
Should.
Yeah,
That's
should
the
be
key.
able to.
So what would you need to do to get to that? What is it? You're starting, or what would you need to do?
I think my starts could use a little work, some acceleration, but just some conditioning in general, along with a little nice wind that day would help too.
little tailwind wouldn't be so bad, right?
That'd be nice.
That'd be
Cherry on
ideal.
top.
That would be the cherry on top. Yeah. Well, you do enough running and soccer. I mean, this should be nothing, but it's a lot entirely different, isn't it?
Yeah, I lost all that stamina. I wish I kept it, but
it went bye-bye.
Yeah, 2 weeks and it's gone.
We got to work getting that back now, getting that back. Have you ever thought of, Derek, I'll start with you. Sprints was what we're talking about, and you talk about the 4x4. Have you thought about expanding to anything more? Is that your focus right there?
I think that'll be about my focus with
Because that's your specialty.
Yep, that's what I've done for many years, and that's
Probably since you were
probably what I'll
young.
keep, yeah. Yep.
And for you too, to get your times, what kind of goals have you set for those, for as far as PRs and so forth?
The 100 I'd like to get, 11.2.
Yeah.
Probably. That would be pretty nice, and then the 200 would be
get below 23s.
Below 23s. Same with you. What do you think you need to do to get to those numbers?
Blocks are a main thing for me. My
Right.
starts have never been great, and then just being able to hold up speed in the 200 and getting better starts. That can change a lot in
Right.
track meets.
It sounds like starting is a key. I
Yep.
mean, if you get off the blocks poorly, the rest of the race is probably immaterial, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. You
'Cause-
gotta work hard to get it back if you have a rough start.
because if you're down quite a few lengths, you gotta, put it into a second gear, and sometimes it's just a little bit different.
Yep.
Well, now what's coming up for Highlander track here?
We're in Concordia today.
Concordia today.
Yep.
Should be a nice, not a bad day for it today.
Yep.
Should be.
Should be.
Hopefully.
Should. But it's an outdoor at
Yep.
Jay Christensen. It's at beautiful stadium. I love that. I love that place. If you haven't been there before, it's a good place to run. But again, just getting outside and getting the season going, Derek. How fun just to now compete and get going. And as a junior, you still got another year to go, and you know what your question's coming up next too as a senior, Jake. But for you, Derek, getting this season going, and what do you totally want to accomplish, not only for Derek's shape but as a team?
Let's just have a fun year and get the 4x2 so we can get more people to state. And state's always fun when we get a bunch of people there.
Yeah.
Just the atmosphere, and then all that's just.
Getting there by yourself is great, but
Yep,
if you
but
got
having,
some buddies with
having
you,
a bunch of people there is way better.
way better.
Yep.
As your last year there, Jake, what's on what Jake Anderson want to accomplish here this year? And
Just trying to go out with a bang. Get to state, have some fun.
yeah,
Just
enjoy
go
the
high
year.
and keep going.
And just keep getting better.
Yeah, better and better.
Just preach is just with each meet, get a little bit better with each practice, and so because you want to be peaking in May,
Yeah.
and not right now. You
Yep.
want to be there in middle of May,
Yep.
is when you want to hit it. All right, well, guys, I appreciate it. Congratulations on so far a great year and qualifying, being half of the 4x1. And let's see if we can get at least one more, maybe two more relays
Yep.
at that
Yeah.
state. And I'll be watching those numbers: sub 12, sub 11. Well, sub 12, yeah, you want to get below 12 too, don't you?
Yeah.
We're gonna get those numbers. I got a good feeling about you guys. I think we'll get them down there. Guys, appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again. Thanks very much for being here today.
Yes, thank you.
You bet. Jake Anderson, Derek Shape joining us from Highlander Track. We'll be back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here on Coach's Corner here on the Highlander Activity Network, and softball is now on the agenda, and we are joined by three of the Highlander softball players, Senior Bailey LaRue, Junior Kinley Sufcool, Junior Lauren Larson. Ladies, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
thank
Well, we'll try to get you in class on time. You don't want to get a hall pass. Let's start with the first two games of the season. Got a chance to play in the Nelson bubble
Yeah.
over in Jamestown. You had Thompson and Delaxburg, two teams, if memory serves, that qualified for state last year. First of all, just getting a chance to play Bailey and get it in, whether it was indoor, outdoor, didn't matter. How fun was it for that?
It was really fun. I mean, getting out of the gym is a big thing. We have a lot of practices, especially with the weather in North Dakota, so it's nice to get able to play. And I mean, that's a really nice facility up there, and those are two good teams. So it really got to show us like what we need to work on, and a starting point for us, which was really nice.
Was it the first time for you in there, or have you guys played in that facility before?
Yeah, I think it was the first time for all of us.
For all of us?
I think
Okay.
we were going to play there last year. Got canceled,
Yeah.
so.
It's indoors. How can it get canceled? Oh,
Who knows?
it does. It does. It does. So for Kinley, too, for you, just getting a chance to get out there and play again and get that softball season underway.
Yeah, I think it was nice. Just, I mean, the younger girls coming up to varsity, it was nice to get them to non-conference games just to kind of get used to it and change people around, see who works where, and yeah.
And you're the old ladies on the team, the three of you. Sure, I shouldn't say that, but and kind of the middle part of the order. I think I'm looking at maybe 3, 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4. But we're looking at the heart of the order here. And Lauren, for you too, is getting the season going. How excited were you just to finally? All right, let's get this going here.
Yeah, it was fun. Like shake off first game nerves, and yeah, it was good to be out there.
Get out there and play. I mean, regardless of what's going on. Now let's fast forward. Next up was Devils Lake, and you guys hit the road, and actually you scored more points than the football team. But anyway, I didn't say that. No. But 23-12, I think, was the final, and now getting a chance to get outside and get live pitching, Bailey. How about that?
I mean, it was our first conference game, so everyone was a little bit nervous, but being outdoors was really nice, and seeing pictures about her speed was about what we're going to see all season.
Yeah.
So getting those younger girls, that timing, and being able to hit and just get that confidence up for more season games, we were excited, and it was really nice to play. 20
hits, 23 runs. I think I did the math. 8 players had at least 2. I mean, it was one of those games, right, Kinley, where it was hitting was contagious for you guys.
Yes. Yeah, everyone through the order was hitting. We were getting through the order like twice through every inning. That was really nice. Even the younger girls getting hits, building up confidence for these upcoming games will be good.
And the bottom part of the order, they did pretty good turning the lineup around, getting up to Bethany and getting to the top of the order. And Lauren, did you feel your swing is there? Are you still in early season form?
It was kind of a rough game for swinging for me, but still got on base. But yeah, it was nice to be outside.
Exactly. And it was not a bad day. Not a bad day on Tuesday. Kinley, I was going to ask you, you've moved to center field now, so I think you went from shortstop to center field. How is it getting used to a new position out there?
I like it. I feel really free out there. I have Lauren out there and left, so.
Backing you up?
Yep. Yeah, I just like being in a leadership role on the field, and I feel like that is another leadership role on the field, so kind of knowing, I can tell Bailey where the runners are. I can tell, Beth where the runners are. It's just nice to be able to kind of, see the field from back there, know where the runners are, and get to run around and catch the ball, throw the ball.
That's all. It's pretty easy. Just catch it and throw it. That's all you got to do.
Not a lot of thinking out there. I like it.
Not a lot of thinking. Center fielders, what are you talking about? Not a lot of thinking. Come on now. What is that all about? But what was the hardest thing for you making that transition?
Honestly, I think fielding the ball.
Yeah, maybe judging the fly balls.
Yes. I don't know. I like to feel the ball like a regular infield grounder, but gotta get used to the outfield grounding. But yeah, otherwise I almost think it was easier going from infield to outfield.
Did you give her any pointers or anything? Helping her through any of this, Lauren?
She helps me through practice sometimes,
We
it's
help each other.
back, up. Yeah. Whatever you need to do to get under the ball. And, of course, over at first base, you at your position that you played at since, I don't know, probably since you started playing softball?
Yep.
Been a first baseman all along?
Yeah, and then some third base action this year.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm pretty used to it. It's exciting to be there. I like it. I'm always part of a play, and yeah, I get to be in the infield with the other girls, so it's exciting. Yeah.
We got a home game coming up here. Looks like it'll be a nice day. Our first home game of the season coming up on April 22nd against West Fargo Cheyenne. I guess question number one now for each one of you, so you can all think about it. I'll start with Bailey because she's a senior. Where's obviously only 3 games in, so there's still a lot of ball left to play. But where do you see you as Bailey LaRue needs to get a little bit better?
I think I need to get better at just being more confident at the plate, getting my timing down, and just getting early in the count. I kind of tend to wait for the later pitches in the count, which is a little more stressful. But in my position on the field, I know pitchers are gonna, or in the batting order, I should say, I know pitchers are gonna try and get me earlier, so I need to look for those earlier pitchers and hopefully drive them so I can get on base. So.
Are you a pull hitter?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. But you need to maybe work on that a little bit. That's something, spread the ball around.
Yep, just those outside pitches. I really need to drive them instead of pulling them to the right field. I need to get them to the left field. But I think the game on Devils Lake really showed us where we need to work on, and that's nice that we have a couple practices until those games. So yeah.
Kinley, how about you?
I think adjusting to timing different pitchers, because when they went from Tylee Brodina to the other girl, it was just kind of a little bit of a struggle trying to time up that slower pitcher. And then, you know, you have pop-ups and all that. But I think adjusting to my pitcher way earlier.
Okay. Lauren, how about you?
I think we all saying the same thing for the last game, just to the pitcher, and just kind of stay out of my head this season.
Yeah.
Because, like, in the past seasons, I kind of get a little in my head. But, yeah, but...
Don't think about it so much.
Yeah, just have fun.
Just react, just do. It'll happen. It'll be good. And again, West Fargo Cheyenne is the game coming up here on Tuesday, 4:30, I believe,
Yep,
for the
varsity.
varsity, and then I think JV goes second. And then once the longer nights, things will get switched around a little bit. But 4:30 for the girls, and they play, of course, up at VCSU. Getting a chance to play the second year you play at the VCSU field. How fun is that there?
It's so fun. The field is so nice. And it's nice to get out of our little
Sandbox?
bit of, yeah, our sandbox.
Yeah.
They have a really nice facility there, so it's
Yeah.
nice to get out and practice on a nice field with like an actual fence up and really nice dugouts.
Big
So-
scoreboard.
Yeah.
Too bad it doesn't like light up with home runs or anything. Might have to work on that. We'll talk to VCSU about that. And Kinley too, getting a chance now. You know, playing. You guys, like I said, you played there last year too. So getting your there, but now you're playing a different position, getting used to a little bit different outfield, or outfields are the outfields, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. It's still grass. It's still the
Yeah.
same thing. It's a
Yeah.
lot of change. But the dimensions might be a little different, aren't they? Or are they about the same?
I think it switches with every field we go to, like
Right.
205 to like 220 or something.
220, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's usually a standard.
I don't know. Usually Ryan LaRue's good about telling us to like adjust, come in, or
Right.
you know, he usually places us if we're out of place. So that's nice.
For you too, gunning people down on home plate, is that something, or on the base, is that something fun that you like?
Yeah.
Lauren?
Yeah. I had to play Tuesday, but
Okay.
it was not an out, apparently. But
I was
It was
there, I saw it.
the umpire was wrong, right?
Yeah, he
well,
was.
they usually are.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know, they don't get all the right calls right. So is that just something that you really like? Come on, run! I dare you!
yeah,
Go!
she
Go!
didn't. She didn't run after the next one.
She knew.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm not testing that license. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Final question for all of you: goals for this year, not only for Drew, but you know, as a whole.
I think our goal, obviously, is to make it to the state. Like, that's everyone's goal. But honestly, just developing the team. We have a lot of younger girls. So hopefully have those younger girls. And just overall, having fun playing the game that we all love. Yeah.
Last year in Class A as well, and so you guys are going to get the switch over next year. But something to Kinley that you want to go out of the EDC showing them what the Highlander softball is all about.
I think we totally have potential to be a top 4 team in the EDC this year. Yeah, there's really no one that stands out.
Yeah.
So I think we have potential to make it to state this year.
I know
Make it
you.
to qualifier.
I mean, you guys, the offense is going to be there, and the defense will come around eventually. And Lauren, for you, you know, get the goals that you have set for Lauren Larson, and then as a team, what would you like to see this team finish up come
I
end
kind
of
of
May?
think we all just need to like stay positive. We had some issues last year of positive, but I don't know, kind of just try and make it on base like every time. Don't go looking with a strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And get on base, because if you get on base, you can't score. So you know, and you know, you get on base, and a lot of things can happen. What is it? 3 things can happen when you're at the plate, and 2 are good. You either get on an error, or you get on a hit.
Yeah.
So the percentages are in your favor for that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies, congratulations on the win, getting number 1. Now that's nice. That's out of the way. And I got West Fargo Cheyenne coming up here on Tuesday. So thanks for joining us this morning, and we'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bailey LaRue, Kinley Sepulchre, Lauren Larson from the Valley City Highlander softball team. We'll be back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hackana Highlander Activity Network. Back here on Coach's Corner here on the Highliner Activity Network from the Hack, and we're now joined by Matt Nielsen, Valley City Highliner girls tennis coach. Coach, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Well, we're here. We're off and running, and a couple of EDC matches on your belt. Let's start with Friday. Headed up to Grand Forks to take on the Rough Riders.
Yep, went up there and we played indoors because their frost wasn't out, so their nets weren't up yet. And would have loved to play outside, but it was a good experience for the kids to play indoors at choice because that's where the state tournament is held. We did bring 4 exhibition players too, so that way they got to feel indoor courts and playing on indoor courts. So that was a great experience for them. In the match, Red River is one of the better teams, and they did get us 6-3. And some bright spots in there was our younger players got a lot of experience. So Lexi Svenningsson, Sarah Byerly have played matches before in varsity, but not when we haven't put them in like, hey, guess what? If you don't perform, team's not going to win. They haven't felt that before, so it's good for them to feel that. And then Chloe Liebersbach, first time she's been on the varsity court, she held her own pretty well and actually changed up her game a little bit to try to win the match. The girl that she was playing was hitting hard, so Chloe started playing a little moon ball without being told to do that.
Okay.
That's her thinking on the court, realizing if I just give her a short ball, she's going to punish it, so I have to get it higher and deeper. So I was like, that's high tennis IQ. So I was impressed with the 8th grader there. Then we go into Kaylee and Sky. They were played number 1 doubles for us, Nielsen, and they got down a set. They got down 0-5. Like most time you think match is over, but it wasn't. They came back. They won the second set in a tiebreak. They won the super tiebreak. Both tiebreaks were dominant scores to take out a very good team, a team that state qualified last year. Is probably looking to make an EDC championship run is what their thoughts were probably that they could do. Which I mean they still can do that. But those two, Kaylee and Sky, came back, won that one, and what was cool is first time I've ever had them together. And just so happened to be that it was Sky's 50th win on her career and Kaylee's 100th win on her career, and it happened together. So I mean, pretty cool milestones that happened at the same match. So both of those girls followed it up, and Sky played number 1, defeated Addie Lohman, who was an all-EDC player last year, and then Kaylee won her match. So that was our 3 wins on the day. And then we moved into Shanley on Tuesday. A home opener, a little windy, but not too bad. It was just a nice breeze. And then we kept the same lineup, and Kaylee and Sky won their doubles match 0-1 against a player that was all EDC last year and finished 3rd in doubles, half the team. So I mean, it was great. Georgia and Lexi got down 5-2 in the first set. They ended up losing the set 7-5. But they came back and won in 3 sets. So that showed Georgia and Lexi came back, got their first win on the year in doubles. And then we had a Shanley team that just were all backboards. They all move well, and they all get the ball back. They all get it back deep, and that is tough to play against if you don't if you're not one to finish points to actually go and win points. It's tough to beat a backboard, and they did out backboard us, and they got the match 5-4 against us. But Sarah and Lexi played the best they've ever played. Like they moved their feet, they were attacking the ball. Their confidence was high. You could tell on the court that they had positive body language. So I was highly impressed with those two. Georgia dominated her singles match, so she against Red River, she didn't feel like she played her best, and I mean she came back and she played some good tennis against Shanley, so she got 2 wins there. Kaylee was a winner in the singles. She got down 1-4 before Kaylee's a counter puncher.
Okay.
So she tried to make things happen in the first 5 games, and that's not her game. Her game is to be patient, wait for the right ball to come, and then you do something with it.
Right.
You don't force the issue. You wait for it to be the right spot, and then you go. And then after she settled down and became more patient, points were a little longer, but she then took the opportunity when she got the short ball. Now she did something with it instead of trying to hit hard shots in the baseline, because that's not her game.
Right.
Conversely, though, That is Sky's game.
Okay.
Sky's game is so I call Kaylee a counterpuncher, and Sky's type of tennis is called the Punisher, which means Sky's going to attack her shots, hit it deep, and with a little bit of pace, but it's still a high percentage shot.
Right.
Then what Sky is looking for is that first ball that is kind of short. She comes in and then just attacks, moves you around, and even comes to the net, and she finishes points. So that's her style of play. Like, Sky is going to take that opportunity, and she did. She won the first set pretty easily against Mary Wolf. She was up in the second set, and then she forgot her identity of how she plays. She went to a backboard type of style, and Mary Wolf is probably the backboard in the state. So,
Okay.
I mean, a good backboard is not going to beat the best backboard.
Right,
So
right.
so Sky flipped her game, and we tried to get her back to the attack mode. She did a little bit, forced a tie break, and then went to a super. She got up 5-1 in that super, but then she played tentative and started pushing again, and that's not her game. And I think she realizes that, hey, and I'm glad it happened now, right?
Yep,
Right? It's
yep.
early season.
Yep.
You want to learn those lessons now, so that way you go, hey, this is my game. This is how I play. And even if I make a couple errors, that's okay, because there's first to 4 in a game. So if I win 3 points and I lose 2, I'm still 1 point ahead.
Yep.
So you have to, like her game, you have to understand that there will be some errors, but you have to keep attacking. So I think she learned that there. And then, so we lost the match 5-4. Lexi Sweddington was the last match on 4-4, played very well. Like, the girls rallied around her afterwards. We cheered for her. She did the Highliner breakdown at the end. Like, hey, she did very well. Yep, we lost 5-4, but we know we're improving. We know we're going to come regional time, like against these two teams. Like, we looked at our 3-2 lineup, and I go, hey, we're right there with those two teams in a 3-2 lineup. So it's going to be a lot of fun. The next matches too. So we got Wahpeton on Tuesday. So I think they're 0-2 right now.
Right.
We're 0-2. So hopefully we can go down there and pick up our first win here.
The lineups that you have right now, at least as far as your pairings with those, that's not necessarily what's going to happen down the line. That's just where you're starting right now.
Yep, and I already talked to him and said we might flip it up, because against Shanley, Kaylee and Sky only dropped 1 game.
Right. Yep.
And against their number 1, number 2, and a
Right.
really good player, and then it took Georgia and Lexi 3 sets to win. So we were actually looking at maybe perhaps on Tuesday that we might split those pairings up. Instead of having a extremely dominant team and a good team, why don't we have 2 great teams instead of dominant and good, go
Right.
great and great. I'm looking at splitting them up to see if we can, that might help us get 2 wins at 1 and 2 doubles. And come tournament time, you need a 7th player.
Right.
We haven't played a 7th yet. We've played 6 twice, the same 6. So we were doing a lot of practice matches. I'm watching in practice, trying to figure out who can that 7th be that's going to step in and be in our 3-2 lineup. Because if we don't start getting them experience now, it's going to be trial by fire region. So we need to come up with that within the next week or so.
There was something I was going to ask you about Kaylee. Now, again, I'm a tennis novice, and I watch a lot of it, but a lot of things you don't pay attention to. But watching her serve in the match against Shanley, it almost looked like to me like it's almost a jump serve. Like, she is completely off the ground when she's hitting the ball.
So different players have different strokes, and I always give the analogy with Sharon Boer. Sharon Boer, fantastic tennis player, and if someone looked at her backhand, you'd be like, well, that's really unorthodox. Like, what is she doing? It goes in.
Right.
So her backhand goes in all the time. So Kaylee, on her serve, she does jump. I don't think she gains anything from it, but it always goes in. So it's at the point where, like, if she wants to develop a top spin kick serve, that's something she has to do in the summer. But the serve she has, it works. It goes in. It's flatter. We're not touching it.
No.
So no, it's it's one of the things. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right.
And if she wants to develop a kick serve in the off season, she can. But we're not changing that jump serve right now.
Because everybody has a different way of serving the ball.
Yep.
I mean, it's just whatever is comfortable for them and what works for them.
What makes it go in, and if it's going in, we're not changing it. And if it's not going in, then we're going to try to tweak it to make it go in.
And it looked like, too, a lot of these players, and one in particular, obviously Sky, watching her, is very strong. And she hits the ball hard when she makes good contact. And that, the poor girl for Shanley, a couple of times, like, What was that?
Oh, in the doubles match?
Yes, in the doubles match.
Yep, and Sky, she's confident. She attacks, and when she does that, she's one of the best players in the when she's attacking. And we saw that in the singles for the first set and a half, that how good she is when she's confident attacks. But yeah, she generates a lot of power because she uses her legs, she uses her hips, and then she follows through. And that's the big thing. A lot of people are hitting the ball slower. You might watch them, and they're not using a hip rotation, and they kind of keep the shoulder in. So when they hit, they get no added power with their trunk, with their hips, with anything, just their arm. But if you watch Sky, she's loaded, and when she hits, she completely unloads, just like you're a baseball person. Right? If you're just going to put your bat out there, you're just going to slap it to right field, and hopefully it gets over the first baseman head, right? Like if you're going to hit a home run, if you don't engage everything, you're not going to hit a home run, right? So same thing with the tennis stroke. If you engage everything and unwind, you can put a lot of power on the ball and yet still be consistent.
And now, how about the younger players? JV, a few exhibition matches too against Shanley. And how are the younger players as they proceed the first match to the second?
No, they're doing well. First match against Red River, how they practiced was not how they played. So I think being indoors and first match, they kind of just started pushing the ball, and I'm like, hey, you guys are hitting some good topspin in practice. You got to hit it in a match. So someone to look out for is Cambry Westman's a 7th grader. She's playing very consistent. P. Gilbertson's another one that can play very consistent. So can they be that number 6 singles player? That could happen. And you say younger ones, but there's one, Maddie Nelson, like she's improved a lot. So she might be our number 6 as well. So she's senior, could be our number 6. We just got to find which one of those is going to be the right fit, and which one can handle a little bit of pressure, and which one can think on the court, and that might be the one who gets it, because they're all 3 pretty good players.
How are the Aces doing? Your
Aces,
your philosophy.
Our philosophy. You know what? Coach Aberly, she talked to me and she goes, "What's awesome is I'm excited and I look forward to getting to practice every day." And she goes, "It's because girls have such a great attitude and they work hard and they're coachable. So they are hitting aces how we want it, that 100% effort, sportsmanship, communication, positive attitude, like they are doing it, and we're excited to go to practice. The kids are happy to be there. They're listening. They're executing, and so I think it's going very well. And with 31, we're using City Park because we have 31 kids, so we usually have a parent go down there and watch them play some matches. So that way we could have the better the coach to student ratio, the more you get out of practice. So if we can rotate and have some kids play matches at City Park, that gives us better coaching ratios here, and they also get match experience. So I mean, it's a win-win all over. So that's working well. But we'll always take the issue of, oh man, we have too many kids, we have to figure out a way to go. Nope, we'll deal with that issue every day.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have.
That's a good problem.
Very good problem to have, because injuries could happen. A lot of things can happen during the season.
Well, and part of high school activities, it's not about winning. It's about developing kids and participation. So we want any kid who wants to play tennis, we want you to play.
All right, the door is always open.
The door is always open here.
All right, well, Matt is coming up. Wahpeton on the road here is next up for the Highlanders. Let's get a number in that W column.
Let's do that.
And move along. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You bet. Coach Matt Nielsen joining us from Highlander Girls Tennis. We're back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. And back on Coach's Corner on the Highlander Activity Network, and baseball now is joining us because they're going to be talking, getting on the bus because they have a noon game today at Jack Williams taking on Fargo Shanley. Actually, doubleheader with Shanley today. Seth Soderholm joining us here from the Highlander baseball team. A couple of games in under your belt, same score, same result. But we'll start off with Thompson. You're both these games. You guys have been in it. But Thompson, how do you feel for the first game of the year the guys played?
Yeah, that one was pretty good. They came out, I think, made one error all day. That's always good the first time you get playing in a game to minimize the errors, keep them under 2. But a lot of walks, both ways. It was kind of a tight zone, so both sides kind of struggled with it, getting kind of passive at the plate instead of, being aggressive. So that was kind of a common theme in that game. But overall, for the first time getting outside, it was not a bad day.
And playing the defending state champ in Class B, and I was talking last week, we had Jack and Corbin Powell on, Jack Samuelson, and so you knew you were playing a very good ball club coming in, and to take them, and you had a couple of runners on base and scoring position in the 7th inning, so taking them to the end, you got to be happy with that too.
Yeah, I mean, we were one big hit away. I mean, Corbin made the last one, he missed it by, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch on his bat, between a double that scores 2 runs, so that's just baseball, but as long as we're in games, that's always a good sign because at some point you're going to get that big hit, and you're going to win the game.
Law of averages, Murphy's Law is going to happen eventually. Speed up here, you went down to Jack Randall and took on Wahpeton, another 10-8 game. In a game, too, it looks like you were just missing that big hit. I think 13 guys left on base. The last 2 innings, bases loaded. You were just missing that one big hit, weren't you?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's just it comes down to one play, But unfortunately, we don't like to think about that last inning or what could have been with it because we gave up 6 in the 3rd.
Yeah.
We made 4 errors in the 3rd, like 6 runs. I think they were all unearned. Yeah. It's like we can sit and think, oh, we're 1 hit away. That's great, and we are, which is good that we can come back from that. But we did give up 6 runs in 1 inning. If we limit that to 2, we win. We limit to 3, we win. So that's kind of our thing is we just got to limit big innings. We kind of just let that one snowball and snowball and snowball, and then
And it looked like Wahpeton's defense was having some issues as well, especially I think their third baseman, I think, had 4 or 5 errors or something like that. But is that tough playing a team that just seems that they're having struggles defensively?
I mean, it makes you a lot more conscious about putting the ball forward and putting it in play.
Yeah.
Because you know that at any point, if you hit the ball forward, really just put it forward, you could get up with a double. Infielder gets the ball, fields it, whatever, throws it away. That's 2 bases. Yep. They boot it. That's a base. So it's just really being aggressive early in the count, looking for something you can hit, and then you get 2 strikes. Battling off pitches, fouling things back, and putting it forward.
And on the flip side of that, as a pitcher, if your team is on their heels instead of on their balls, their feet, that makes things a little bit more tougher for a pitcher too.
Absolutely, you're thinking about the whole time. You're trying to get more strikeouts. You're probably getting a little more wild because, like I said, you have to play your stuff up to get more strikeouts, get more swing and miss because you're scared of the ball kind of being put in play. But it's not the attitude you can have. You just got to trust your defense. They'll make the play. Everyone's going to make errors. You just got to move past it and kind of put it behind you.
Well, yeah, I think James, Luke, and Adam have been your 3 pitchers in both games. And matter of fact, I don't want to say it. I'll probably jinx it, but Adam has been pretty well in closing games out. At least hasn't given up an earned run. Are these going to be 3? You're really going to count on to give you some innings this year?
Yeah, absolutely. They've done a good job throwing strikes for the most part. Like I said, I know Thompson's strike zone is pretty small, so it's tough to really judge that at its true value. But no, they've done a good job of being competitive, letting their defense work. And the interesting thing is, it's all kind of an interesting defense with comes in because James and Luke, they're just going to switch.
Yeah.
3rd pitch, whatever. Adam comes in, then it moves Trevor to center, it moves center to left. It could move left off, it could move left to right. Like anything could happen. So it's a lot going on when Adam comes in.
What has been the biggest bright spot in these first 2 games for you as a coach?
I would say definitely the competitiveness, not giving up. Like we were down 8 2 on Tuesday, like that could have been over quick, right? We could have been, oh, let's just play 5 innings and go home. It's already late. But no, we score a few here, we score a few there, score 2 in the 6th, get some runners in the 7th, get the bases loaded. It's a good spot to be in. Like you said, one hit away, it's going to happen at some point. Someone's going to get that hit, and we'll be ready for it.
Jack Williams, the site today, doubleheader with Fargo Shanley, and playing a noon game. That kind of odd for the guys having to play middle of the day like this?
Definitely. It felt weird on Tuesday playing at 7:30. I said it kind of feels like we're playing in a tournament right now, and then this will probably also feel like a tournament, a doubleheader. You're there, you're kind of at the field all day. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're outside and we're playing, and it's nice out. Like it's, as long as that rain kind of pushes away, it'll be fine. But overall, like I said, we're outside, so
and playing at one of the better diameter ballparks in the state of North Dakota is always fun to play at Jack Williams. Well, it's get a W today. Now these are 1 point because the Wabanon game was worth 2.
Yeah, these are 1 point apiece. So 2 7-inning games. They're in our league.
Yeah, it's the American and National League. It's been
so they're in our league, so it's 1 point a game. So yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get a couple of ones. It's such a nice day. Let's play 2, as Ernie Banks would say. But Coach, I appreciate you joining us this morning, and hop on the bus and head into Fargo, and we will talk again.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You bet. Coach Seth Soderholm joining us from the Highliner boys, Highliner baseball team. We'll be back and wrap things up here on Coach's Corner from the Highliner Activity Network.